So let's get right into it and talk about the election. Does voter turnout, right? So we're all always focused in on voter turnout and turning out our voters. Tom, can you tell me what are you seeing right now in Bexar County as far as turnout goes? Are you impressed with the turnout, or how do you view the results so far?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's really interesting considering the fact that, we're sort of tracking right in line with the 2016 turnout, which, in Bexar County was both good for Republicans and good for Democrats. We're sort of, in the 12 and the 2008 and 2012 election, you sort of had the Obama anomaly voters. And then in 2016, you sort of had the rise of sort of the Trump anomaly voters, where we saw new people turning out, people who don't necessarily have general election or even primary election voting history. I mean, the great statistics in 2012, 35,000 people voted in the Republican primary for Precinct 3. In 2016, 75,000 people voted in Precinct 3. So you saw a massive increase, of that sort of, anomaly voter. The fact that we're tracking right now very similarly to 2016 is pretty interesting, so that especially in a post-2018 world where you had sort of what was considered a Democrat, great year, the issue that we've actually sort of tracking back to 2016, I think is really interesting. And statewide, we're already seeing 91% of people who turned out have previous primary or general election voting history. And so there's very few people who are brand new registrants that are really turning out.
Yeah. Laura, do you see things differently? Are you happy with the turnout?
I don't think I'm going to push. I mean, we talked about this early. Do we want to prognosticate?
Prognosticate.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to prognosticate, but I'm really hoping that we're going to see. I don't know that we'll get there, but I'm hoping we'll see something like a 2008 turnout. I mean, that's where we'd like to be. I think in order to turn Texas blue, that's what we need. I think we have the potentials for what we would call the perfect storm, right? The perfect storm to turn Texas blue would be, we have a lot of those elements. For one thing, we have a very, very unpopular incumbent, right, in Donald Trump. And so you see how that drives voter enthusiasm. And we kind of clearly saw that in the Beto Cruz race, right? Like,